Tuning in right now, you're listening to the Keith Harris Show Global Network right here on Hotline Radio. Now, as we've been waiting for all week long, we have the wonderful, well-respected powerhouse couple on the show here today. We're very, very honored to have them on. So without further ado, here is Katherin Kovin-Pacino and her wonderful husband, William Lashbrook. How both of you doing today?
We're doing great, and I want to wish everybody a very, very happy Thanksgiving for tomorrow.
Hey. Keith, we're sitting in a parking lot right now here in Marin County, Northern California, in front of a BevMo liquor store. And may I say this? We wish you were here, Keith.
Hey, you know what? I was going to say, that's pretty down to earth right there, William, man. I like that.
Look, I'm gearing up for the turkey, the dressing,
and the family,
the sweet potatoes, and the family, most of all.
Hey, look, I know that's right. Look, if my mom listening right now, I ain't gonna tell her. Look, you didn't hear the part about me being in the liquor store parking lot, Mom. But yeah. Starting off to say, I wish you guys a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving, day 2 tomorrow as well. Y'all in Cali, right? So it's not really, you're not going to get any chilly Thanksgiving weather. It's pretty nice out there, right?
Oh, it's lovely weather.
It's lovely. It gets really chilly at night, right now, but it's okay.
Okay. Now, all right. To kind of start off, first let me ask you guys. Do you, Katherin and William, do you still have, are you guys still running the AEM?
AEM?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that, my, manager, AEM?
Yeah, what is it,
No, I'm not with him anymore, no.
Okay, no, I thought you got, like, the company you guys had started or something like that. Okay, all right, on next. Now, so, first, Katherin, you were born in Chicago, right?
I was born in Chicago, raised in St. Louis, and my parents moved out here when I was 11 years old.
Oh.
We moved to, Anaheim, in Tustin. We lived there 2 years, and then my dad bought a home in Escondido, California, which is North County, San Diego.
All right. And how long have you and William been married, as a matter of fact?
We celebrated it this last September, 7 years.
Wow! Congratulations to that.
Thank you.
And Keith, they said it would never last. It says both Kathy and I like an audience and the microphone.
Hey, you know what, William? You can't wear. You know what? They say stuff like that, but hey, y'all continue to prove them wrong. Look, you guys look wonderful. You two look great, and always smiling in them pictures.
Thank you. Well, we are very happy together. We're not always on the same paragraph, but we're on the same page.
But Keith, I am lucky because she likes older guys, Keith.
Hey, you know what, William? I'm glad to hear that, right? Because I'm getting older myself, and you know what I'm saying. So you give me hope to be able to hear that.
Listen, come on here and see us. That's what you have to do.
Hey, I absolutely will, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come out there sometime and try to hit one of them car shows with you. I saw you standing next to that. It was a yellow car, as a matter of fact. I'm not sure what kind it was, but it was hot. It was like back from what?
Wait, you're talking about the car show.
Oh yes, no, the Nethercut Museum. There are several museums of note, especially down in Southern California, and that's where we normally live. So you come out, man, and we will show you cars that you won't believe. Jay Leno was down there too with his museum.
That's right, because they talk about how many cars Jay Leno had. It was just crazy, right? So, okay.
Oh my God.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm older than you, so I can say that you probably can't. Every car I have ever owned is now a serious collector's item. It's horrible.
Oh man, that's all right there. Hey, listen, William? Do you still get to drive? Do you still ever drive them, or do you just kind of keep them up and keep them polished?
Well, no. Right now we just have a lovely Volvo that is.
Okay.
But I keep every male for sure needs to have one lovely old car that isn't going to get a second older.
Okay.
When I was 14, I grew up in Illinois too, like Kathy. And when I was 14 years old, I drove my grandmother's Hudson from Illinois to California, the promised land, and I've been driving ever since. That's a whole lot of years. The insurance agent got panicky when he realized that a 14-year-old had driven his family out to California.
Are you serious? Like, you was 14? Really?
Yeah. Yes. I had a book that I sort of had to sit on to look over the dashboard. But so what? You know, I had, and my only two items that I treasured most in this world, besides my mother, was my television set and my dog.
Wow. You sound about like me, William. I'm gonna say yeah. Well, back then that was back then. Of course, there was only two items you treasured the most, right?
Well, that was kind of ancient history.
Yeah.
I guess 14-year-olds don't care right now.
I know, right? Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Katherin.
Oh, I agree. I didn't drive until I was in my late 20s because I was just afraid. You know, I always had, rides from, my boyfriends or my, friends. But once I started driving, I didn't want to be without a car, ever.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I got
in Southern California,
I know that's right. Look, we'll get into the interview in a second. We talk about this other stuff, but I tell you, with me and my license, I kind of screwed up because I learned how to drive probably about 13 or 14, but I messed up because I did too much driving without a license. So I ended up so I ended up catching a big ticket. I had to go pay it off before I could get my license, which was years ago. I've been good for a lot of years now, but I had my license a lot of years, but that's how driving started out for me. So hey, we all been there.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, now, both of you are into the acting scene. You're both, one's an actor, one's an actress, correct?
Right, exactly.
Okay. Are there any projects that you have worked on together in the past, or that you're going to be working on in the future together?
Well, but we're doing a thing right now called Five Friends, and we're going to start promoting it on the internet. You'll see part of it. What we're doing is we're attracting investors. Bill has a large part in this reel here. We play gang bosses.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to let my husband, Bill, tell you some more about it, too.
Well, if anyone knows how to play a gang boss or a gun mall, it's Kathy. I have to tell you, Katherin Kovin-Pacino, for heaven's sake. Kathy's been connected with other movies, and she's got a couple of current ones coming up she'll tell you about. And I'm narrating. I do mostly voice work, Keith, and so I will be narrating for at least one of Kathy's pictures. And well, The Five Friends is it's an how should I put this? It's an intercultural movie, again to do with gang activities here in the States. Mm-hmm. But it promises to be really, I have to say, a family therapy, because there are no bad words in this movie. There's violence, but not wild violence, and no bad words. The producer, his parents, don't allow bad words, and so we're kind of aiming for a family-oriented thing. But you will see it first on YouTube, I believe. And it's international. Yeah, it is international for sure. It's international, and that's kind of exciting. But Kathy has to tell you about her connections here in Hollywood. The experience, the Hollywood experience is, as you know, Keith, it's a bizarre one. It really is, and it keeps you on your toes and keeps you humble too. Anyway.
And you know what? Because like you say, there's a few films, as a matter of fact, that I'm gonna get into asking Katherin about, like you say, Will. But just talking about the 5 friends for a minute, because I checked it up. Well, I noticed it that I noticed that title, and
Yes.
I should have got it kind of off the gate, but I didn't. So I was thinking, okay, 5 friends. I was going to ask what that's about, but that sounds like a good plot right there, and a good gangster film.
You're right, and we'll keep you apprised, because I think for sure it's worth talking about again as we progress. You're going to want to know about it, and we'd love to talk to you again. And I'm going to repeat it. We want to see you here in the West Coast. Come and say hi to us.
Hey, I've been making plans. I've been thinking about getting out there. Things is obviously lifting off the ground for me in that direction anyway. So I'm coming, William. I'm definitely coming. So, all right. And
you're in from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. I've been here about I've been here almost 3 years now. I moved. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., but I moved to Canada. And so I lived in Canada for like 18, 19 years. And I just got back to North Carolina like 3 years ago because of my relatives and moms and things like that. So, I kind of came down here to chill out and relax. But it got too slow for me down here, guys. Like, so, being in...
Yeah, but Keith, it gets cold in the wintertime.
Yeah. You know what? Not as cold here. Not as cold. You know what? Not as cold here, though. Now, Canada was cold. It was cold there in the winter.
Oh, yeah. I spent some winters in Canada. I was in western Canada around Fort St. John when it started snowing in August.
Yeah. And then
much of my biological family is from the Carolinas and Georgia, and they were, back then, they were horse traders and
horse thieves.
No.
I heard that.
And also they owned a bed and breakfast and a grocery store. Mm-hmm. But see, I was adopted at birth, but I went and found out about my biological, parents and background. Okay. And then, but the parents that I grew up with, I grew up in the jewelry business. Right,
and they had a chain of, I believe they, if I was reading, they had like a chain of stores.
That was my first job, it was working for my dad.
Hey, that's all right, though, the first job at the jewelry joint, that ain't bad.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah. So,
I got into the business very early on in the 20s. I started off as an extra, actually.
Right. So did I. Yeah. I know what that feels like. You learn a lot. You kind of just being an extra on the scene, just kind of it. Even if you already had the drive to want to be in the industry, being an extra on the scene just gives it that extra push. Once you just get on the set, you get the feel of things.
It's equivalency of working with a corporation and starting out in the mailroom, right? Wouldn't you say?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, you said it.
It's the equivalency of starting out in the mailroom for a corporation.
Exactly.
In this way, you learn about, how to work with directors. You learn about how to work with producers. A lot about the teamwork with, the cameras and a lot of stuff on the set. So it was very valuable. And most of your big stars today, like Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, and I don't know about Angelina, but a few people, they started out as extras.
Right. And now, and also it also helped because people, I know when I first, kind of started doing extra work, before I went on set, I would be kind of afraid. When you think about a movie set and who's going to be on it, you get afraid. And then once you go on and become an extra, then you get used to it. And you say, okay, this isn't so bad. You know what I mean? And there's like hundreds of extras just like you sometimes. So you get a comfortable feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of networking. You get to know people, and they know people. You get your pictures out there, and you get yourself out there, and that's what it's about. It's a lot of networking, and you got to really, really stay in it. You got to really want it and not get discouraged because. even though I started out, in my 20s, my life is just happening for me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you started out, you kind of you started getting your foot in the entertainment world with a gentleman by the name of Marty Liquor, I believe.
Well, Marty Liquor, was an entertainment CPA. I met a lot of people through him. Okay. He was, I met James Caan. I met, a lot of different people. Gary Sinise was one of his people.
Mm-hmm.
But I met them on the business side. But it didn't hurt to put that on my resume and to meet these people and to be around these people. Some of our perks would be over there to go to their screenings. You meet people at screenings. It's really unturning each stone.
Right. It makes a difference. Just even be able to really that's a form of networking, and just being able to share the same room with some of these people and meet and shake hands and things.
It's important for the people listening out there, and they want to get into business. Go to a really, really good photographer. Get some good headshots, because that's your the door key. Also some business cards made with your photo on it when you do these networking things. And not only that, but also get a good acting coach. Yeah. That's imperative, because when you meet the right producer, they look at that. They want to know that you're not just off the bus from Duluth, Minnesota.
He right though. He right. Yeah.
But they want to know that you have something in this, and that you want to really do something with your life, and that you believe in yourself, and you believe in the business, and you really want to work. Because it's really a lot of focus.
You know what?
You work down hours.
You know what? And that's right. And just like you just said, just like you were just saying, William, as a matter of fact, what you said is very true. Because a lot of people don't even know that about me. Like me being in North Carolina, a lot of people didn't know that I was actually a talk show host in Toronto, Canada already. So I still kind of really, I was blessed enough to kind of still have the connections, because remember what they also say in this industry too. Sometimes it's not only what you know, it's who you know as well. So,
exactly.
So for me, I was,
Keith,
yeah.
Keith, we can hear from you that you have been around. You have a way with people.
Yeah.
And that voice of yours, you really have a lovely voice. You really do.
I thank you for that, Will. I appreciate that. And you got a great voice too, man. Look, I'm waiting to hear it in this gangster film too, because I
was impressed. He was really good. That was the first time we ever worked together. I did also work with my late husband, Sal Pacino.
Okay.
We did, what was it? Simone Boulevard, Path to Glory. We actually filmed it down
in Venezuela.
Venezuela,
yeah.
And we actually got the permit to film in the late Simone Bolivar's house.
Okay.
And for those of you out there who don't know who Simone Bolivar is, he's like the George Washington of South America. So.
What? Oh wow. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I didn't know. I hate to say this, but I didn't know. But I knew he was somebody important, because I had been listening to your interviews before, and I'm like, okay, I wonder who this is. That's really heavy, as a matter of fact. What was that film?
It was so cool. I worked with international stars down there. The top Latino stars down there. They're not known. Betsabe Duke is known in the Latino world up here, but unless you know that world, you wouldn't know the names. But they were top names down there. Right. We were on the radio shows. We were in the newspapers. We did TV down there. It was so exciting. It really was.
Right. Now, was it necessarily a culture shock almost? I mean,
yeah, it was to me.
Okay.
But it was fun. It was a good culture shock.
Okay.
And there was either like high class people, because we stayed in a five-star hotel, and there was also people living on the hills in boxes.
What?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, and you know what? Speaking about that, we'll in a little while we'll get into some of the charities and things like that you guys are behind. Then you bring that up. But first, let's take it back a little bit. Let's go back to Holy Hollywood.
Okay.
Okay. What and there was a guy, Tyler, and you played Tyler's mom. What was that film about?
Holy Hollywood was about the extras casting, and it was a spoof on two dueling extras casting and screwing on each other about really hijacking the other team and
typical Hollywood.
backstabbing, how they are like the sharks that work in the business.
Okay, so that
it was really cool.
So the title.
Jeff Olin, who's one of the producers, is still a very good friend of mine.
Outcaster.
In fact, he casts now for Grey's Anatomy.
Oh wow,
so,
that's cool.
And Mickey Rooney was in that, the late Mickey Rooney.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another film that I worked with my late husband, Al Pacino.
Okay.
And I really love working with my husband because, it's like we're a team. We're out there and we're hitting the ball, and it's like we're in each other's world. We're on, the same page, the same paragraph, and it's really cool. It makes me so much easier.
You know what? Yeah, that I can understand that too, and having each other's back like you do means a lot.
And Keith,
yeah.
We don't step on each other's lines too. We're very careful about that.
Okay.
No, we have mutual respect. It isn't like, how dare you get more attention than me? I'm gonna get even with you, or anything. And there is a lot of that in Hollywood.
Yeah.
If a woman becomes more famous than the guy or has a bigger name, you see these guys, like quote unquote punishing her by doing different things,
Wow.
to betray her. You saw that a lot of that. You saw that with Pam Anderson. Remember when she was married to a couple of these guys?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, indeed. And the crazy part is, I think in her case it was crazy because it seemed like she kind of outlasted them. She did her thing, but it's important. It's important if two people. I guess that's why they say don't mix business with pleasure. Sometimes you really have to have a strong force like you guys do to kind of be able to complement each other's style, and that's important.
Exactly. Well, the thing is if you want to keep your marriage together, that's what you do.
I know that's right. Because
I was lucky enough. I learned from my parents. Yeah. My parents were married before my mother died of terminal cancer like 9 years ago. They would have been married for 71 years then. Then my dad just recently died this last Easter. But if they would have lived together, to this day, they would have been married almost 80 years.
Wow.
Sweetheart, you don't hear about that anymore.
No, you don't. You don't. Nowadays, people looking at 12, maybe 13 years. Now what about, Mansion of Blood? All right. Is that released already? Is that going to be released soon or?
That's still in post-production. They had a money problem with it. They had some problems with Gary Busey on the set.
Crazy Gary Busey.
My nickname, Gary abused me. But I've sat down with Gary a few times. I had met him before that. It's really a very dear friend of mine, Bob Dubrino. I'm going to be working with in the future with Lucky Luciano and another thing he has is the Vatican connection.
Married on the Vatican connection now.
So I'm supposed to be working with him on that, and
when you say Lucky Luciano, is that his name? Was that the character name, or I'm sorry?
Lucky Luciano was a very, very big mob boss.
Well, see, I know that, and that's why I asked that question because listen, I am the gangster film king. I love those, and so right. And so that's why I asked that because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like working with Lucky Luciano. So you mean the actual Lucky Luciano?
That's the name of the movie.
Oh, okay. That was like, wait a minute. Now I thought he was.
Some of the things I have that I'm going to be attached to, and with Bob DeBrino. If you look up Bob DeBrino is BDE Entertainment, and he's been with, oh my God, CAA for a long time. I think he's with another top agency now.
Okay.
I think he's with, I'm sure, but really, really good guy. He did Vin Diesel's movie, Find Me Guilty. He produced that. But he's a real deal. He's a good guy. But I will be working in the future with him.
Okay.
And
now,
that's
sorry.
what I'm doing.
Okay. Now, William, I know, like you say, you're doing some voicing and some narration. You think you'll be you'll be stepping in front of the cameras at any point in time and doing some acting?
Yes, in some part. Now, the real acting effort is going to be with Kathy.
Okay.
I can use my voice. Yes, I will be before the camera. Most of my experience, Keith, I have to tell you, has been live stage work.
Oh.
And yes, Shakespeare especially, and some of the Renaissance people. And so serious stage work. The camera lens kind of belongs to Kathy. But yes, I will be doing some stage work.
Okay.
But for me, I think narration works best. Really, seriously.
Okay. I understand. That's where you want to fall into. I get it. And that sounds like a great idea. As a matter of fact, like I say, when I look, because when I looked and I said, wait a minute. I'm thinking to myself, you had this look like you were to be in a film. You know what I mean? That was just my opinion, though. Like, I don't know. So.
Yeah, I'm also going to be getting him into some commercials.
Okay.
I think he's got a great look too for that. He's got a good character look.
Right. He really does. And so, but that works. The voice sounds good.
A good mom boss look.
Look,
I don't know about that.
Hey, you know what, William? I didn't want to come out and I didn't want to be the one to come out and say it. So I'm glad you said it. But
bless you.
That's exactly what I was really thinking. Okay, now let's talk about Baker and Dunn. Is that to come out in 2015?
It's supposed to. What they're going to do, from what I hear, is they're going to put out a sizzler type of thing, a sizzle reel type of thing to get better investors. They lost some of their other investors. However, they're still going to do it. And I will be playing the role of Mildred, who's like the seamstress there, and she's like the den mother of all the girls. It's like a traveling, I think it's a burlesque show type of thing, showgirls and things like that. And there's love, and sex and gossip and that type of thing.
Okay. Now,
some of it may be filmed in New Orleans. I think it may be.
Okay, in New Orleans. Have you guys had a chance to visit New Orleans otherwise?
I don't know about Bill, but I've been here just a couple of years ago. My best friend, Tiffany Lander, who's in PR, she is from New Orleans, and she had invited me down. So she took me all around. She even got me, introduced me a very big manager down there.
Yeah.
And also, she had somebody else take me to all this, it was a tour with all the, the graveyards, above ground and everything.
Oh, yeah.
All around the city. It was really, really cool. Yeah. I love New Orleans. It's a great party town. And those houses, the antebellum houses, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I remember when I had a chance. When I was younger, growing up, I used to go to Mardi Gras every year. And
I've never been to a Mardi Gras. I need to go. I need to experience it. This is say that I did it.
It's one of those places. I tell you, it's a wonderful. I always said that everybody needs to go at least once, but I'll just give you a piece of advice. When you go, it's so crowded. That's the one thing that I didn't like about it, is that it's just it gets a little hard to move. And so, when you're in an atmosphere like that, there's too many hands moving around, if you know what I mean, and Oh
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pickpocketing and things like that.
Exactly, but.
It's like, also the jazz down there, the food is just absolutely delicious. And I love that spicy Cajun food. I love it.
Oh, yeah, that was wonderful. That was wonderful.
Red rice and everything, and jambalaya. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, jambalaya and all that good stuff. Then they had a gumbo down there. A lot of different foods down there. I can't really remember what I ate, but it was good. I know I stayed on the Hurricanes. I don't know if I should be saying that on the radio, but I kept a Hurricane, though. Y'all know what the Hurricanes are, right? Have you heard about them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So
well, you know what? On Katrina, tell him what our son-in-law did.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting. My son-in-law, who I really do love, is a well-known farrier here in Northern California, horseshoer, and expert on large four-legged animals. Well, when Katrina hit, there was a lot of human misery, but you didn't hear too much about the animals stranded and the rescue operations that needed to take place. Well, my son-in-law, R.T. Goodrich, got a caravan together of like-minded souls that dealing with four-legged, large four-legged creatures, and I think there were a couple of experts from the nearby veterinarian school, and you may remember that at Tulane they have a big veterinarian school. So anyway, the long and short of it is a caravan of these experts that came down from California and came over to Louisiana, and their efforts were to rescue a lot of these stranded animals that were starving. And oh my goodness, the stories that he can tell. So there were a lot of heroics, Keith.
Right.
You hear bad news, you hear bad press and this and that. But let me tell you, there were more heroes working out there than there were, what shall I say, some of the naughty types, Keith.
Right. I can imagine it. That was a tragic time for them, and what he did was really good, because a lot of people, you didn't really hear about animals, really, and so that was a great thing that he did.
It's a shame, but I'm happy to hear that was done, because these poor defenseless, little pets and things, sometimes they're forgotten.
And big farm animals,
Right.
Big farm animals. So.
Yeah, of course, that's a big deal. Now, going into some of the charities and things of that nature that you guys, stand behind. Let's start out. We'll talk about, I guess, a few, but start out with one of those. One of the charities you're all involved with.
Okay, we're involved with two basic charities, and one of them is Shining Star Kids of America, which is foster kids aging out of the business. Aging out of the system, I'm sorry. We're talking about the business here, but they're aging out of the system and they have nowhere to go.
They need to get into society.
Yeah, right. So in order to transition them into society, we are trying to get together this ranch. Now, we had before, but it was only leased, okay? But we're trying to own it now. And
up in Northern California.
It's up in actually Santa Rosa, technically. And we would have horticulture, culinary,
animals,
horse equine type of therapy.
Voice work, I'm going to handle that, Keith. I'm handling the voice work.
Yeah, we want to teach these kids how to transition society, because otherwise the government gives you what, $50, $100, and then what's going to happen? What are you going to do with that?
I'm amazed.
You know what I'm saying? And it's terrible. What happens.
Well, yeah, and that's something that's going to really make a big deal too, because listen, these kids are coming out in a time where already work is hard to find, even with certain types of education. So
Yeah, exactly. And another charity that we do every year, we belong to the Real Cowboys, REEL Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And if go on the internet, Real Cowboys, REEL Cowboys.org. And what it is, it's an organization where we celebrate the Western movies, Western genre, and the actors and actresses that come out of those movies. Every year we do the Silver Spur Awards, and every year we give to a charity. Usually it's a children's charity.
Or Wounded Warriors.
Or Wounded Warriors.
Oh, okay. That's another and that's dealing with Westerns. You guys had did you all have one not too long ago, as a matter of fact, or?
Yes.
Silver Spur Awards, we have it every year in September.
Yeah, okay, because I had noticed. I think I saw some pictures from that, as a matter of fact. So that's what made me ask: was it not that long ago?
We honored Sophie Powers this last year, and
Voight the year before.
last year we had John Voight. Who is
Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner, and also Lou Gossett Jr.
Right.
And some of these people, a lot of people don't know that they did westerns, but they either did it on TV, and it didn't matter whether it was once or through a series, but it just really, really good people.
Well, and we understage the people that are music composers, Keith, for the Western genre, and oh my goodness, stuntmen, and the stuntmen, Keith, my goodness, the stories that they can tell, it makes your hair stand on end, what dangers they get into.
What, doing the stunts for the Westerns and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
I mean, it's really been, very, very rewarding to give to society, people that need, and it empowers you, actually, because I always said on my deathbed I want to know that I helped make the world a better place.
Right.
I can't save the world, but if each and every one of us did a kind thing, whether it was every day or every other day or once a week, it would just be so much better. It really would.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I commend you both for taking part in actions like that, because I mean, you have other people who do it, but sometimes you have people that just kind of genuinely drop money into foundations, and then you have people like yourselves who actually stand behind them and really try to create something that is going to really make a difference. Like for instance, that ranch. With teaching kids skills. Skills is really what it's all about. Because once they have...
Exactly. But today, it's just like a lot of people say, well, I can't send my kid to a university, because it is a lot of money, and they don't have the grades to get this, that, or the other. But guess what? You could teach them the skills of a plumber or an electrician or whatever.
Right.
And they could go out and make a lot of money.
Right, with actually having a trade, as a matter of fact, and expect
exactly.
And like William even with William, like you say, with you handling the voice, teaching them how to the voice side of things. That's that right there is also, I feel like, is one of the really good ideas, and I'll tell you why I feel that way, because being in the industry. Sometimes it's hard to find things that children really want to do. Like, we want to teach them things, but sometimes they want to do fun things. And so teaching kids how to they all would love to be in films or to be in movies or to be voices of movies. So that's something that they will really kind of attract to and will really be interested in learning. I think that right there is going to have a big turnout.
Yes, and there's this too, Keith, and you know this as well as anybody. The art of communication, I have a terrible feeling that we're losing it, because you look at the kids these days, and they've got their faces down in their, name it, tablets and phones and what have you. And it seems to me that a lot of kids would rather text you and me than talk to us, Keith. Yep. And I think we're losing something vital. and communication. So I would teach the art of communicating to kids, and I could take a boy, young boy, and if nothing else, allow him to communicate and look you in the eye, Keith, and pronounce his words carefully.
Yeah, that says a lot. That means a whole lot right there, because because
that will teach him how to go out in society also and be successful.
Right. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think in this day and age, me myself, and it's probably always been this way, but in this day and age, it seems really important for people or youngsters coming up to be able to grasp a skill that would enable them to become creators or of businesses of their own and things like that. Do you think we're living in a time like that?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I do, Keith, because the technological world is expanding before our very eyes as we speak. Things are happening. So the answer is yes. Yeah. How do you enter that? Or those fields, I should say.
Right.
There's the problem. But in the interim, Keith, technology is moving quickly. But you know what? We don't you agree with this? We still need mechanics. We still need good haircutters, for instance. We need the basics to keep our society moving on a day-to-day basis.
That's
Not
it.
everyone is going to be a technological genius, but everybody can make a damn good. Oh, excuse me, Keith. I need to be careful here. I get excited.
Oh, you good?
Everybody is capable of making an awfully good income by just learning to service the public in an honest way. And again, I'm talking about haircuts, and I'm talking about mechanics, and name it.
Well,
plumbers, for that matter. Plumber, I don't know what you pay for plumbers. A plumber costs you a king's ransom here in Los Angeles.
Oh, no, that's right.
No, but just to something to fall back on while they're working. We need school teachers while they're working their dream.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's true, because we need the basics. Listen, it was the basics that got us as a society through a long time ago. And just like you guys say, at the end of the day, we're still going to need those, because we're humans, and there's always going to be humanitarian. So like you say, haircuts are going to be needed. Houses are going to be needed to be built. Clothes are going to be needed to wear. Like back in the day with the bartering system, we could even take that back to the whole thing of trading food, even as we reach Thanksgiving and things of that nature. You're going to need the basics of society to get through. So you guys are right about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what we want to teach these kids once we get to
self-confidence, don't you think?
And self-confidence, but how to go out into the world and how to survive without having to go on the street and get in trouble. Because if you're looking at the prison system, the majority of the men are probably foster kids.
Yeah.
They never even had a chance. Really.
Yeah.
I mean,
now that makes sense.
It's a hard world out there. It's hard enough if you're living with your parents and they're doing for you.
Right. Yeah, right. Because they ready to kick you out if you ain't, if you're not doing something at the right time. So,
Keith, listen. If work gets really tough here, can we come out and run your radio program?
Hey, you know what? I got a better idea. How about you guys help me run my radio program out there? Because I'm coming out.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Because I'm coming out there, as a matter of fact. I hate to be putting, I'm on the radio, everybody's listening to me. They're going to be like, oh, Keith Harris said this. But, my plans are really to hit the West Coast anyway, not too long from now. Probably but by the end of 2015, sometime middle 2015, I'll be out there on the West Coast where you guys are anyway. So, we'll get to sit down, have dinner, go to the car shows and talk about all this stuff.
Give us a heads up, Keith, and we'll help any way we can. Kathy has lots and lots of contacts. Okay. She really does.
All right. And look, Will, when it comes to these gangster movies and Kathy, when you guys have some extra parts, let me know.
Yeah.
I come through. I play a great gangster. I'll be your hit man or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You're a gun for hire, right?
Yeah, I need a gun for hire, Keith. I do.
That's right. I'm your man. So, Look, it's been wonderful talking to you two. Listen, come on the show anytime you like. Will, come on here and help me host the show. Let's talk to some people.
You and I, can I say this? You and I sense it in your voice. You and I could be hell on wheels. We really could.
Oh yeah. I knew it when I looked at you. I said.
But it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much, Keith.
Yeah.
And thank you, Joe Williamson, my friend that hooked us up together. And I wish you guys and your family, all your loved ones, a very, very happy, healthy Thanksgiving.
And Keith, to you, your family, and your listening audience, a lovely, wonderful, safe holiday.
Absolutely. And again, we thank you so much, and we're honored to have you both on. To the world, global, everybody out there, you've been listening to Katherin Kovin-Pacino and the wonderful William Lashbrook. And we will talk to you guys again soon. I'll be talking to you guys shortly, as a matter of fact. But to the rest of the world.
Fantastic. Sounds great to me.
All right. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too, dear, and all the people out there. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That was Katherin Kovin-Pacino and her wonderful, wonderful husband, William Lashbrook. Listen, great people. A lot of great things in store. I love the way that they give back to the community as well. That's a super huge thing, a real big deal. No egos on board. No egos on board at all. Excellent sense of humor. And hey, that's great. Also, for the youngsters out there and the kids out there, we'll try to keep you guys in tune and keep everybody in contact with help programs and some charities and things of that nature that, kids that might need help, or as they say, are coming out of the system and need skills to learn to apply to building a better progressive life for themselves. So we'll keep in touch with that. Also, make sure you continue looking out for the movies coming out. Baker and Dunn. Make sure 5 Friends, you pay close attention for when that's coming out, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. So again, we send a big shout out to Katherin and William, everybody on the West Coast. We appreciate you all. We thank you every day, constantly, for listening in. I'm Keith Harris, host of the Keith Harris Show Global Network. We'll be right back in just a few minutes after some more hot music right here on the Keith Harris Show Global Network.